I start? It's been a long week. Actually, a long couple of weeks. So much has happened, not only in my life, but across the world. So much is happening. And today, first of all, apologies if my voice is sounding a bit too deep or weird. I'm just recovering from a very bad cold. Very bad cold. It's autumn, it's that season for colds. I haven't been sick actually for a very long time. Other than last year when I got COVID, which was around this time, I have actually not been sick, and I have to be so grateful for that. And when I mean I haven't been sick, other than your normal having a headache there, a migraine, pain near the leg, but actually full on, flat out sick, I haven't. So I'm really grateful for that. So today, what I want to talk about is um, there's a saying, actually, let me make sure I am writing it, or not writing it, rather saying it in the right way. It says you can't use an old map to explore a new world. And if you listen to that, there's nothing like jumps at you. You're like, obviously, if it's a new world, you need a different map. And that's why Google Maps always updates. They're always you see their cars moving around everywhere, trying to get the right images, measurements, everything for that. So it's obvious, obviously, it's obvious. But if you've been around the sun a few times, i.e., you've been around this earth for a while, you know things that are obvious are not obvious so much to us human beings. We have to be constantly reminded, and that's why things like podcasts works, books works, movies and films, because there's so much we have to deal with as human beings. I mean, our brains are super computers. There's so much to process, and sometimes you even forget you've been at a certain point or a certain season of your life because it happened all of 5 minutes ago. Okay, not 5 minutes, but maybe 6 months, or when you're 12. So sometimes you forget, and I think problems are great. I know that sounds weird, but they're great in building resilience, in building our toolkit for what we can use and how to deal with things. However, just like every toolkit, if you don't use those items in the toolkit, after a while they might get rusty or just don't work in the same way. And that's why sometimes the skills we pick up for resilience and for survival, if not utilized properly or never utilized again, we kind of lose them in a way. So I was actually reflecting on a few things that have happened in England, and have been happening actually. It's just that obviously because of media and news and print media, we kind of programmed to think it's a new thing. Oh, so we should focus on it, shout about it, tweet about it, talk about it. I mean, I'm even talking about it on a podcast, but it's been happening for a while. And one of the things actually I want to focus on is about violence, and violence especially for us women, and how that is really becoming really scary statistics. There's actually a whole thing that is going on right now in our media about it, and lots of people are asking the police to create a whole unit, their policies to change so that we actually violence against women can be create focused crime, where there's a whole police unit, where there's actually trained staff and all that comes with it. And I'm all for that, especially. However, when I said you can't explore a new world with an old map, not saying that violence for women is a new world, because as I've said, we've been violated, assaulted, killed for centuries. I mean, you just have to read history books and see how women have died or been treated, or yeah. However, what I am trying to actually look at, or I think, is the approach of how we deal with violence against women is what has to be new. Because obviously, the things that are being used now in the toolkit are not working at all. They're not working. So, and the way things are going, and the same people are coming to give their opinion, it is not working. And I have seen our deputy prime minister, yeah, let me just confirm that, yeah, actually said, yeah, exactly. So he's called Dominic Raab, or would you say Raab? And he was asked about during the BBC breakfast show, and he was saying, and I think they were just trying to get to understand how he feels about, misogyny and everything like that. And I kid you not, he said misogyny is absolutely wrong, whether it's a man against a woman or a woman against a man. Yeah, let's just pause there for a second. Clearly, he has no idea what the meaning of misogyny is. It's one of those things you just think, oh yeah, it has to be argued both sides. So when we are actually out here saying we should investigate misogyny in our police forces, the head deputy prime minister, Dominic, if he's one of those people who was to sign and say, yeah, I agree to this, he wouldn't, because he'll be signing to the wrong thing, because he has misunderstood the whole thing. And that's what I'm trying to get to, that violence against women has been misunderstood for a very long time. And it has been seen as just one thing: domestic violence or assault of some kind. Whilst violence against women is a mirror of many things. There's now calculated crimes, like what we saw with the former Met officer cousins. And as the story is unfolding, you see even trashy newspapers. That's what I call them. The Sun is trashy, and I'm going on record to say it. Actually had a headline saying, this gentleman, this former policeman, had a 14-year-old girlfriend. Again, if you've been around the Sun for a long time, there is no way, if you're an adult, you're going to have a child as a girlfriend. That is what we call abuse. Again, it's 2021. Trashy newspaper is still writing headlines like that. So obviously the balance is wrong. We can't use the old map to deal with this. We have to think radically. If we are going to eradicate this thing, if we are going to save the lives of women, if women are going to be safe again, or rather feel safe again, walking on our streets, going to meet a friend, if you're going to our cinemas, if you're dropping off your child, if you're picking up your child from the co-parent or grandparents, I was actually thinking the other day, from when I plan my trips into whatever, I have to think of, okay, what is the actual occurrence of danger to me and my child, and to me because I'm a woman, and to my child because she's a girl. All these calculations you make before you leave the house. Why? Okay, so I'm all for, let's create a crime unit to deal all with women violence crimes, but I want us to go in it with first the understanding of what is violence against women, and it can't be a catch-all situation. You know, then there's a statistic that showed since Sarah died, there could 80 other women who've died, and it's violence to women, and all of them died in different ways. There's domestic violence, those who were raped, those assaulted, or those shot. It's all kinds. So if we're going to treat all this is with one rule, then it's not going to work. We'll just be at the same place. And obviously, oh gosh, we need leaders who understand terminology, who understand what's happening, who are not just saying it so they look clever, and they're not. On television, it's just enough. I mean, the other thing, which is not new, but we have to really think about it, is schools. What are we teaching young people about how to treat each other with respect, how to respect the entity of humanity as a person, because we say charity begins at home. So what are we helping the parents? How are we teaching others to take care of each other? I mean, to the point of saying, if we have to be blunt, like, you cannot kill a woman, yes, let's do that then. Let's just be plain like that. Because I feel all these big words, all this waffling about, we are missing the point. Women are dying on the clock, whilst we're trying to fiddle our thumbs and think of a report or this or it's really annoying. It's really disappointing, actually. And I've said this before on my podcast. Human beings, we are great at creating so much, but when it means governance, taking care of each other, we just, for some reason, we are those kids who just drop the crayons everywhere, and then they're like, where's the red one? And it's right in front of you. I don't know why we just can't get it right when it means taking care of each other, respecting each other, doing the basics. I don't know what happens. Second thing I want to, and this I'm really, I hope I don't come across as angry, but yeah, if I am, it's okay. I mean, I am quite disappointed with the employment sector at the moment. So this is my little rant. When COVID hit, there was lockdown, and companies had to, rethink, and everybody had to work from home because it was a government directive, stay home. So you had to work from home, and a lot of companies realized that some of the jobs they were needed to be done can actually be carried out remotely. So some actually were having eureka moments, and kudos, they made the tasks that needed to be remote to be home based permanently. And I'm not saying it's the way forward for everything, but some of the things are just ridiculous when you think that you have a building for something that can be solved over the phone or via an email. So I was actually talking to a lot of recruiters, and one of them was like, oh, because I wanted to actually introduce to them the fact that if something is a job that is over the telephone, really there's no face to face, why are you asking people to come to an office? And they won't even really engage with their colleagues, because let's face it, you're on target to call a certain amount of people, to be on the phone for a certain amount of time, all these things. So probably the time you get to speak with your colleague is maybe your lunch break, or that on the corridor you're all printing something, that wonderful time at the printer room, that you get to say, so, oh, your child is 5 now. Wow, amazing. See a photo, then quickly you're like, oh, it's my time to go back. So employers, this is my question to you. Why are you not evolving? It's a new world, not in the sense of a new way of working. No. In the sense of we are in 2021. Not because even of COVID. Please, let's not even bring here. But if you have your organization has tasks and jobs that really do not need people to be in a building, why are you forcing people to be in a building? Is it that you don't trust them? Is it that you don't have proper structures so that you can monitor and manage and support your team? Is that the question? Is that you've used to a traditional way of how people work for such a long time that you can't think outside the box? What is it? What is making new employers, especially in the UK? This is what I've noticed, because when I was looking at employers in, for example, the States and even in Africa, wow, so many things don't have to happen in an office. They just don't have to. If they can happen on a phone or an email or in a remote area where we're meeting everybody at a certain time, all this, then that's done, and we hash out all the points and be done, and we sort it. I just don't understand why UK is so traditional, so set in their ways. And it's not all companies, but majority are. And I was thinking, why are we not taking this golden opportunity to actually rethink? It's 2021. There's lots of people who have skills who cannot work in an office either because of a disability or childcare or caring, and they will have to be on benefits because that's the only way they can obviously earn, put food on the table, because they can't work normal hours. I mean, it's just I'm just so disappointed in the employment sector. So disappointed. So employers, rethink. If you are an employer, rethink your strategy. Really rethink. And if the issue is that you're not au fait with technology or your management, get there. And you're thinking, oh, it will cost money. Everything costs money. Okay, but does it make your work or company efficient? Does it, serve the purpose of all the clients you need to do to, support, help? Does your business grow? Yes. So yeah, that's rant over. But I feel we have to do things differently. Remember, and I've said this on this podcast before, if the rhythm of the dance changes, the dance routine, the way you're dancing has to change. So let's do that. On an ending note, I feel heavy in it's been one of those weeks, or rather months, and I feel we have to liberate ourselves from doing things the old way, whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in your business, whether it's how you parent. If it's not working, navigate get a different path. Try, because it's costing you time, money, peace of mind in flogging a dead horse kind of thing. Sorry for the use of the term, but you're wasting your energy and resource on something that won't yield any success or result. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Today is a bit hard hitting, but I just wanted to highlight those two things. And I hope you reevaluate in your life. If you're an employer, please heed to what I've said. And even in your own social spheres, just change. You can't navigate things the old way, especially if it's not working. If it's working, fine, excellent, go ahead with it. Steam on, But if you really need to change and sort out, and especially if you're navigating new ground, please seek the expertise that are needed. Research, take time off, do the necessary. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Crash Cinnamon. I will see you on the next one. And thank you so much for sharing this podcast with everybody. It's been amazing. You can find us on our Instagram page, which is Crash Cinnamon Episodes, actually Crash Cinnamon Podcast, and as well as on Facebook, the same handle. And we are on very many platforms now. And I'm really, really grateful for the growth. And thank you so much for this one to email as usual. It's crashcinnamonorg@gmail.com. We love your views, we love interacting with you, and we keep doing this for you. Yeah, so thank you so much. Once again, you're just amazing, and I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. And we'll keep talking. We'll keep talking. There are a few things I want to really address. So see you on the next one. And yeah, again, do not. I repeat, do not use an old map. Do not. Okay. Thank you.